Shri N.K. Premchandran ji.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. Madam Chairperson, I rise to support this bill, subject to the reservation which I have made during the time of point of order regarding the procedural irregularity in considering this bill at this juncture, because the surrogacy bill which is pending before the other house has not yet been passed and assented to by the President, since it has not become an act of the Parliament, referring to that provisions of particular bill or particular act which is to be passed by the Parliament is not a good legislation. It is a bad legislative practice. I hope that the Honorable Speaker may give a ruling on this issue. Subject to the reservation of that ruling, I am making some of the points. Madam Chairperson, see, only one point which I would like to know from the Honorable Minister. Suppose the other house, in their own wisdom, they are not passing the bill. It depends on them. It is not mandatory that the bill should be passed by the other house. Suppose the other house, in their own wisdom, they are not passing the bill. What would be the fate of this bill? The Honorable Minister has to explain. Because the legislative wisdom of Lok Sabha cannot be taken for granted. This is a legislative domain. You cannot take it for granted that the other house will pass that bill and the Honorable President, His Excellency, will assent to the bill. Suppose the President is not assenting the bill. Suppose the President is returning the bill. What would be the fate of this bill? So please don't take the Parliament, don't take the Lok Sabha taken for granted. We are having the right of our own legal domain or our own legislative domain. We are having the legislative supremacy in passing the bill. That should be respected. So first of all, I make my reservation. Hope that the ruling may come from the Honorable Speaker. Madam, I support the bill in so many senses because, Madam, your speech was well heard by this House and it was well appreciated because the medical perspective of the bill as well as the ethical issues, almost all the issues have already been covered by most of the learned speaker. Madam, the ART regulation bill is to provide for the regulation of ART services in the country. I support. Why? Because there are so many defects, there are so many concerns in the bill, but still I am supporting the bill. Why? Because something is better than nothing. Nowadays there is nothing to regulate these ART services. It is a mushrooming growth of ART services in the country. And even the studies which has gone to shows that according to the research conducted by the Initio, that is Bangalore-based medical technology study which they have conducted, out of which it has come to the public domain that around 10 to 15% of the married couples in India are facing the infertility. That means 27.5 million of married couple in India is facing infertility. Means it is one of the lucrative business by which money can be made, or the business can be made by exploiting these poor people or these married couple. Those do not have child, so that is being exploited. So definitely a regulation is highly required. Since there is no regulatory mechanism to supervise, monitor and regulate this ART services, definitely it is need of the hour. Hence, I support the bill with certain reservations and with certain objections. Madam, regarding this, the second point which I would like to make is regarding the definition to this assisted reproductive technology services. That is all techniques that seeks to obtain pregnancy by handling the sperm or oocyte outside the human body and transferring the gamete into the reproductive system of a woman. Madam, I have gone through the standing committee report. There are detailed discussion about the definition of ART services, but unfortunately none of the observations made by the committee has been adopted by the government in redefining the definition of this ART services. It is quite unfortunate on the part of the government that this definition has to be elaborated. This definition has to be further explained. That is my suggestion which I would like to make. And Madam, during the last few decades, the growth of ART services, especially in India, now it is being stated that only nowadays, after coming this bill, we have gone to the records and we have gone to so many documents. It is very astonishing to see that India is becoming one of the major centers of global fertility industry, and thereby India is becoming a reproductive medical tourism center. That means it is becoming a lucrative business. That means the commercialization of ART services is going to happen. Definitely, I do appreciate the government and the Honorable Minister. So we have to have some mechanism so as to regulate this ART services. This commercialization of ART services has to be regulated, has to be restricted, because it is a humane service to be provided to the married couple who do not have any issues or do not have any children. But there is, so since there was guidelines were there, but the guidelines which were prevailing in our country is not sufficient to meet the purpose. Madam, I'm coming to another point also. This involves, the ART services involves medical issues, it involves legal issues and social issues. To an extent, we are able to contain or address the legal issues. But as far as the social issues and the ethical issues, I don't think that the bill is sufficient to meet the purpose. That should also be addressed, for which I am suggesting, because see, the standing committee report, it is very clear, madam, but unfortunately nothing has come. I didn't hear the speech of Honorable Minister in the introductory speech. The committee cautions the government. Madam, the second para of the report, the general observations and recommendations of the standing committee. The committee, however, believes that, I quote, the committee, however, believes that the government should make efforts to undertake a study to distill the cause of infertility instead of allowing the private sector raising for maximization of profit by marketing ART services. The committee in this regard also recommends that the government should enhance ART facilities in each medical colleges or district hospitals by opening infertility clinics so that the common poor masses can avail the ART facilities. Full stop. The committee strongly desires that the ART facility should not be confined to the bourgeoisie classes. So the word used by the standing committee, I have no words to appreciate the standing committee. This shall not be confined to the bourgeois class or the capitalist or the rich people in the country. So in this regard, the committee cautions the government. The committee cautions the government not to allow commercialization venture. At IVF center, commercialization of gamete donation must be prohibited in letter and spirit by effective implementation of the provisions of the proposed legislation and ensuring that ART services does not spill over as money-making business, unquote. Madam Chairperson, this observation is a very vital, this observation is a very vital observation, and definitely the government should address this issue also, otherwise it will be creating big concerns among the public at large. Madam, regarding the concerns, also I will, 5 points I will conclude. Regarding the concerns, most of the honorable members have already said that regarding it is violative of, I am not supporting the argument made by most of the learned members regarding it is not being allowable to the single male. See, I don't support it because the adoption is not applicable to them. And so many things, single male is not being allowed in a country like India. Our historic ethos, our culture, our tradition, everything is not permitting in such a way. Sometimes 377 scrapped by the Honorable Supreme Court. Sometimes in future it may come, but for the time being, it is best to have what the government did. I fully support. So I am not supporting the argument advanced by the most of the learned members regarding the first point. And the second concern, it is very important, that is violation of Article 14. Because Justice Puttaswamy versus Union of India, in that case it is very clear the Supreme Court has held that the sanctity of marriage, the liberty of procreation, the choice of a family life and the dignity of being concerned, all individuals irrespective of their social status and were aspects of privacy. So this is an act of privacy. Whether the right to privacy is being protected by this legislation, how the government can ensure through this legislation this right of privacy, because there is the chances or there are loopholes in this law by which this can be leaked to some other sources, then it will be causing grave repercussions. That is first concern. Madam, the second concern is regarding Article 23 of the Constitution. That is, a woman receives no compensation or reimbursement of expenses for loss of salary, time and effort. Failing to pay for bodily services constitute unfree labor, which is prohibited by Article 23 of the Constitution, that is against exploitation. So 23 is also attracted. And the third point is regarding the commissioning parties only need to obtain an insurance policy. The amount of insurance is not, whether the minimum ceiling limit is not fixed, and madam, the time is also not fixed. And the fourth observation or the concern is, I think that madam has also cited that point. I have moved an amendment also. I have given a notice of amendment. Please accept that amendment. The absence of a qualified medical person in the state level legislation authority, which may not understand the nuance, which may not understand such the nonsense of infertility and IVF treatment would become problematic. Yes. I have given a notice of amendment. If the Honorable Minister consider, please accept that amendment. A medical professional, let it be from the woman, a medical professional who is aware of the all these issues may be there in the state authority.
Thank you.
That is the first, last one, madam. Last one is the fifth one. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I think that I have almost, and the last point which I would like to say is, madam, this surrogacy bill is there. Medical termination of pregnancy, termination of pregnancy bill is there, and this bill is there. See, why these three bills? Why don't we have a comprehensive bill covering all these aspects? So I request and I urge upon the government, Honorable Minister, kindly see the multiplicity of legislation is a bad legislation on the same issue. The surrogacy is the same issue as that of this ART services. So I urge upon the concluding. I urge upon the government to come with a comprehensive bill covering all the aspects of surrogacy, medical termination of pregnancy, as well as this ART services. With these words, I conclude. Thank you very much.